So BTC looking so good. We've popped that trend line. Things are looking nice. We've rejected off the 200-day MA and has a little pullback started here for us. Are we now going to get an opportunity for some of these altcoins? So things are definitely looking good out there today, guys. Are 10 altcoin setups that I am getting ready to start buying when we hit these zones. They are prepped. They are ready for you. They are banger tokens. We've got so much to talk about here. It's Friday. Let's get right into this. And as always, if you like the content, hit the like button, hit the bell, hit the subscribe. Ray is here. He's missing the goggles. Is this a bear sign? I'm not sure. He's smoking the shit out of that thing. And stuff is happening here. Here's Banter Bubbles. Look in the middle. Now, those of you doubted me yesterday, what did I tell you about the Dusty XRP? Minus 6%. Looking like absolute dog shit. Inverse bull. Well, there we go. Inverse bull. Where is it? I can't even get my inverse bull. There it is. Okay, so XRP minus 6%. I'm still in a small short there, hoping to send this thing to zero. The target there was 0.52. So that thing is now starting to push a little bit lower down. But overall, things are looking great. Look how bullish 𝗬𝗎 is looking. Now, we've heard a ton of news. We've got 𝗲𝗏𝗏𝗏 talking about it and things like that. And 𝗬𝗎 is on my hit list today. So if we get a little pullback here, we're definitely going to get an opportunity for 𝗬𝗎. And overall, Injective looking good. Injective got me through that bit-funded phase 1 yesterday. So I'm going to take you guys through all of this now. Let's just look at BTC. Where are we? What are they giving us? And what are they doing to us? Here we are. This is the 4 hour. And, this thing is like absolute magic. And we highlighted these 3 major levels for you guys. It was 59.5, and the middle one yesterday. And then the big one for me, 62K. And I went on and on about this thing. And why was it important to me? Number 1, 200-day MA. Number 2, 50-day MA. Number 3, 618 fib. Number 4, horizontals. Bang. We know that that's a big zone. If you've been watching the show for long enough, you will know that these are huge areas for me, and this is why we love them. Look at the size of that rejection on BTC there. So that is looking great for us so far. Nice little pullback. And what am I looking for currently? Well, number 1, we've got support here, 59,500. That is an interesting level now. You can see we've got a little reaction here. What is the ideal situation for me? I would love to see something like this play out for us. 57,000. That would just bring these alts into the best, most juicy little zones possible here for us to get some nice banging longs going. So 57K would be beautiful for me if we get a dip anyway in this region. So nice to see that this little move has started, and you can see we're in a little downtrend now. So we'd love to see something along these lines. Let's see how this plays out now over this weekend. And I do have a tweet showing we did have a max pain scenario there with the options close out at around about 60K. So things have been a little bit volatile today, as you might have noticed on the US Open. We had a little candle up, a little candle down, a little bit of spice here or there. But this is my current game plan here. So big resistance for us, 62K. Right now on support, a little bit lower down, 57K. I think that tees up these altcoins for dream zone, dream load ups, and things like that. So let's just get into what is going on here in the news. We can see Mr. Crypto just reminding us, remember, we had the gap and the gap and the gap and the gap. It's like those Russian dolls. But basically here, we had a gap, we gapped up, we gapped down, now we've gone up, we gapped up again. But anyway, this CME gap is now closed. And Ray, what was that comment on XRP? I missed that one there. Just drop that there again. And that's, no, XRP is banned on the screen. Guys, come on. We're allowed to laugh about XRP. We can laugh at XRP. Okay, so the gap has been dealt with. Okay, that was an interesting little thing. We don't really get that much too often where you gap over a gap. So now things are looking interesting. And if you zoom in here, you can see there is this little gap a little bit lower down that they may have actually closed now in the short term here. Yes, I think they're just a little bit lower. They need a push, and they're going to close that new little gap. So things are definitely spicy out there at the moment. James Safar just reminding us that the Bitcoin ETF options happen on the 4th quarter this year. Final deadline for the SEC decision is September 21st. Okay, so there's a couple of things happening, a couple of bullish things going on, and just wanted to tap into the S&P here. And, it's held its levels here, 5,220, looking good, and we are now tracking higher. So if you are trading the S&P or you're looking for areas of interest, you can see we do have a little gap in the way here, and we've got this 50-day MA. So that is still a possible S&P target here for us, 5,446 something along these lines. Look for that type of move there, and then that should help this little downtrend in place. So we're going to see how that plays out. So let's see. Nice little push on the S&P so far. Good little recovery on that Japanese little backtrack. And then, market movers here for us. We can see Kamala versus Trump. She's 49% up versus 48%. Okay, so these are big market movers here, whether it's crypto or the S&P. These are big market movers. And we know Trump is pro-crypto. We know the Dems were less pro-crypto, but now Kamala's maybe changing her tune a little bit. Why are you shaking your head, Ray? This is a market mover. We need to watch things that move the market, bro. Come on.
I disagree. I don't like the polls, but I agree with what you're saying.
Oh, you don't like the polls. Okay. But look, we know the Dems, they're changing their game. So maybe both could be bullish for crypto in the end. I mean, it was all about Trump for the last couple of months, but now she is a little bit of a game changer. And then Wu Blockchain just reminding us here that the options expiry, 60K is max pain. What do they tend to do on days like this? They try and bring it to where the expiry levels are. So BTC was 60K. That's an interesting one. But the notable one for me here is ETH, 2,950. That is interesting. That's about another 5 or 10% pump on ETH. So we're going to look at that chart, and that would tie into a massive resistance area. So definitely something to pay attention to today. And then just a note on the liquidations, the one-day chart, we've now equally balanced here. Longs and shorts look pretty much level to me. Lower down, we've got 57,900, that sort of region, looking spicy there if they want to come and rinse everybody out, 57.9. And then higher up, the highs here, 64. Whew, that would be a spicy weekend pump if we get that move. Okay, so right now, that's the game plan on the 4 hour. You can see the strategy now. If the strategy starts playing out, these altcoins that I'm going to give you are going to start giving you some dream entries. And for me, or if you're anything like me, you're looking for some spot entries now after that bounce. If you have a bullish bias now on the market, if you believe things are now going to churn up, if you believe that was the low that we pinged there the other day at 48, 49K, well, like me, I'm now looking for extra spot entries for some of my things. And these setups I'm going to give you guys are setups that I'm going to be taking on limit orders. I'm going to be doing it on WeX as well. So these things, I want this to play out desperately here to get this 57K and bang out some of these juicy entries. So get ready for you. And let's take a look at some of these things. So Mustache just giving us a reminder as to why BTC could be considered a little bit more bullish now. Now he is using an EMA. Okay, I use the simple moving average. That thing works like gold for me. And he's thrown out the EMA 200 on the daily. And he's saying a reclaim of this line has always led to a sharp rise in prices in recent years. Okay, so here it is. Okay, here's his dark blue. This is the 200 EMA on the daily. And you can see we have reclaimed this as support. So this is interesting right now. Okay, we're going to watch this area here. This 59,400. That's his 200 EMA. And you can see both of them are nice little zones. Look how this thing's reacted off the 200-day simple moving average. And look how it's bouncing off the 200 EMA. Okay, now I don't like to complicate my life too much. So I don't typically use the EMA, but I use the 200-day moving average. So that is my little EMA that I like to use. But you can see this is it's a notable point here as to what he's saying. Now, dominance is also looking a little bit spicy here on the weekly. This thing is starting to look a little bit aggressive. Okay. And, this thing, we just got to be careful here with some of these altcoins. So what I suspect could happen here is if BTC starts losing this current level that it's on, this 59.5 level that it's sitting on, this is dominance on the weekly. If we start getting that BTC little bleed out 59.5, I reckon there's going to be a little bit of panic on the market. There's going to be a little bit of alt selling, I would expect. Okay, that's going to put pressure on this dominance to the upside. Things are going to push, and you're going to see these altcoins start drifting into these zones that I'm going to be giving you. So that is what we're going to be watching for very carefully now. Keep your eyes on this dominance chart. That is going to be a guide for you. And we're looking for that slingshot play. So the slingshot play for me should happen somewhere in the 60% region. So if we do get the dominance pushing up, we're going to be sweating on those alts, and then we're looking for that slingshot there on the altcoins. It's going to be off 382s. It's going to be off 618 regions and things like that. And that should give them the move that we are looking for. So just make sure you are watching dominance while we are ticking over. And now, before we get into all of these things, here's Ali charts, just giving us the most important level on ETH. Okay. 2,314, 2,435, 2.1 million addresses acquired, 51.6 million ETH. Okay, that's a level. Okay, and that ties in pretty nicely with the 5,400 that we've been talking about all week. Okay, and now we have hit that. We've hit that zone, and look at ETH. It's looking pretty decent here at the moment. Looking rather bullish. Is it time to be ETH bull again? Is it time to be an ETH bro? Or, should we move back to Celestia, Ray? I don't know. You tell me. But I've got a Celestia chart for you guys. I do have a Celestia chart. It's looking super bullish, and it might actually be on my buy list. So stick around. I've got Celestia coming for you guys. Ray, what's going on there? Hey, Friday source for Ray. Okay, the first setup for you guys. This is an important one. And look, if we've got a bullish bias on the market now, I think it's clear we need to get some kind of drift back from these altcoins. Okay, these things are cooking. These things are hot. If you're looking for a buy, you're sitting there, you missed the lows. You've now seen this pump. You don't know what to do. Okay, what I suggest here, you can do exactly what I want to do. And I've got some USDT ready to roll here. And these are the areas that are coming for me. This is where I'm going to be sitting limit orders. I'm going to ladder into these positions. These are spot positions that I'm looking at. And naturally, you can obviously trade these things leverage, but you're going to have to be a little bit more careful. But these are my zones that I'm looking at. So first entry for me on ETH, you can see we've got a nice little pullback here. I'm looking for anything on ETH from 2,480 down to 2,343. Okay, anywhere in this little box for me gives me a little ride on ETH. Now, all of these trades that I'm setting up here, I'm not looking for anything too aggressive. I'm not looking for moonshots. I'm looking for about a 20 to 40% move on average on some of these altcoins if we can get this right. So starting with ETH, naturally, this one is the slowest mover. So this size move on ETH that I'm looking at here is about a 28% move in total. For ETH, there might be a story involved there. It could take a while to get up to that zone, but that is ultimately what I'm looking at. I'm looking for that move into that region over there. That's the 200-day MA. That's the 50-day MA. So that is ideally what I want to see there on ETH. So buy zone for me locked in here, 2,480 to 2,340. Mark that one on your charts if you missed ETH, okay? Hopefully you didn't buy the top earlier today of that move, and you could now get a nice juicy little spot entry. So mark these levels on your charts, and I'm going to be buying all of these on 𝗬𝗥. Now 𝗬𝗥 is way more than just a leverage trading exchange. Okay, they have a massive spot market as well, and there's a link in the description here for you guys. So jump in to 𝗬𝗥. There's no KYC on them at all, but they are telling you they'll give you a bonus of $3 if you KYC. But there's a whole list of give backs and all these things they are doing here for you guys, so you can trade these things on spot, and naturally they have a futures market. So here is their spot market that we're going to be buying some of these tokens on, and you can see, I mean, we can track these charts here, but you can see BTC melting down nicely here for us. Maybe we are going to get our entries in the next couple of hours. This could be pretty exciting for us. So let's keep our eyes on this. Next setup that I've got for you guys, now this is for spot buying as well. We have a bias. Our bias is we are now bullish. Okay, if you agree with that sentiment, you are now looking for bullish buys on some of these altcoins. Okay, so spot zone number one for me, Solana. Here we go, and we are now going to push into our first interesting zone. So we're looking at 143 down to 130. Hello, sir. Can I help you there, sir?
They're loving your short, man. You called that short yesterday. You just got to get
Which
that
one?
off. Your XRP short, you killed it. Your short
it to zero. Let's see, how are we looking here? Yeah, there's XRPs. I'm still sitting in this XRP short here on Bybit. And look, guys, we did say that. I mean, there were some salty boys in the chats yesterday. They were quite cross with me that I was talking about.
Where are they
let's
now?
Just confirm. I mean, we need to screenshot this, Ray. Screenshot this for me.
I just need to clarify, where are they now? That's the issue. Yesterday there was a lot of comments.
XRP fell over. Okay, Soul Traders, here we go. Here is your spot zone. This is where you're looking. If you missed the pump, okay, and you missed the bottom, okay, there's a good opportunity here for you guys. This thing could be some bullish buys coming in hot for you guys. So number one, 143 down to 130. I love 143 for Sol. Why do I love that? 200-day moving average, big level here for me. 382 fib, horizontal trend retest. Okay, 143 for Solana, looking good here, loving that vibe. And a little bit lower down, there's another buy zone here. You can have a little spot limit order set there, 130.5. So these are super bullish areas here for us that we're looking to grab. Hopefully you guys didn't sell the top. I mean, didn't buy the top yesterday. Now, those of you that watched the show, you saw me take profit on that Solana long, and this is exactly why I did it. Remember the power of the 618, and we hit that 618, and I said to you guys, TP zone, this is where you're taking out. I said, if you're longing here, you are longing where I'm actually taking profit. So remember, guys, simple things like a 618 pool, like a moving average, 200-day, 50-day, really simple stuff here on your charts. You don't have to get complicated. And we just use these as little tick-off zones, little TP zones, and things like that. So Sol, new entry coming for you guys, 143 to 130. That is a great little juicy zone there for me. And our target is going to be a 30% move. We are looking at 190. We want to take out these highs. So anything from 185 to 190 is where it's at for me on Sol. That is locked in there for me. And what else, what you can do as well, if you now, let's say the market starts running. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to cater for. Now, I can't do it on all these charts that I'm going to give you. So I've done it for Injective and I've done it for Solana for you. But you can mimic these on your own charts. You can mimic these on some of the charts that I'm going to show you now. So if the market starts running away from you, how do you deal with it? What do you have to do? So what I've done here is we've got Solana on the daily we know about. Now, what you can do is you can zoom in on a separate chart and you can start tracking this thing all the way down. Now, you know, I've given you that zone at 143 for Solana. Here it is. 143.18, and let's just mark that on this chart over here, 143.18. That is this type of region over there. So what you can do is you can start tracking this trend. Okay, let's see if this thing starts going lower down. This is where you're going to start nibbling, preferably at this region, this 143 region, and you're going to be looking for that. But now, if this market starts cooking, let's say things start ripping now and things start bouncing, what you need to do here is you need to be able to adapt, okay? If the market runs away before it hits some of these areas like we have seen in the past. So you need to just learn how to adapt. And you can always then play the trend break. So what you can do is watch some key horizontal levels. You can see we've got horizontals in areas like that. And you want to just mark these areas because you typically get a reaction in these zones, okay? You typically get some kind of reaction here. So watch these areas closely. And what I suggest before we get to these big zones down here, if we start taking off and breaking trends, that's where you can start looking for some trades there. That's where you can start looking to jump into some of these tokens. But what you need to do there is then as this thing breaks that trend, you can bang your stop under that breakout candle, or you can bang it under the previous low. Okay, now these breakouts are obviously slightly more risky and things like that because you stand the risk of getting fake outs and getting chopped out and things like that. That is why I love to buy these big solid zones preferably. But what you can do is look for these trend breakouts. So as you watch these things drift lower, pull out your trend here and you're going to be looking for those types of moves. So that is how I would suggest playing Solana. But again, always zoom out, get a picture where we are, bigger picture, what can we look at here, and solve simple game plan, 143 to 130, nice and bullish there for me anywhere in that region. And look at this 130, look at this juicy little zone here as well. We've got nice horizontals at play there for us. So we are expecting a reaction there. And then once you get that bounce off that zone, you can also just bang in your stop underneath that area. Wherever you get that big bounce, you can bang your stop under there and just protect yourself. Now, another one we know is going to run on ETH strength and things like that. One of my all-time favorites has got to be 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 that we are going to be watching. So here is a little setup for you guys. And again, we're not looking for a major move. We're looking for a push into trend. We're looking for a push into horizontals, 50-day MA, nice little region there for me. So looking for something in this region here, the multiple zeros 1-1 level. Okay, that is going to be your target. And then your entry zone is anything in this box that I've just drawn up for you guys. So you can see we are drifting lower now into a little hot zone here. We're going to look for this reaction in this box. So for me, anything from, let's say, multiple zeros 8 down to multiple zeros 7. You want to be nibbling in this region. This is where you're looking. And ultimately, we are looking for that next push. We're looking for that next bullish push. And let's see what happens. You know, if we start breaking that trend, anything can happen after that. But for me, hot zone incoming here for 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, looking for that type of region. And if we start losing this type of level here, if we start losing the 618, it starts telling us, okay, these wicks are most likely going to come and get tested. These wicks could potentially come get taken out. And just be prepared for lower levels, okay? Be prepared for that test down then on that horizontal. Remember, we discussed after that dump that, you know, on many occasions, what can happen here is if you get that initial dump, what happens? We get a pump, then they bleed you out over a week or so, and they come and give you that little double bottom play. So look out for that. It's not off the table yet, but there are signs. BTC trend break, ETH big level there, 2,400, massive pumps on some of these alts, much bigger than anybody expected on some of these altcoins. So now that does give us new levels that we can start playing with. Guskard says weekend pump incoming. Well, that would be rather pleasant, wouldn't it? Okay, so Pepe, you know the drill. After this thing, I want some more Pepe. This is my entry box that I'm teed up, ready to go. Okay, next one is Whiff. Okay, we are moving. Hello, can I help you this?
Smash the likes, guys. And I'm just checking out this meme play.
Guys, I got so many setups coming for you. Look at my cool Bitcoin coaster. I got this in Nashville. I've got so many setups coming for you guys. Just hit the likes, hit the subscribe. You know the drill. You know what to do. Okay, here's Whiff. Okay, what do I like about Whiff? We've broken a nice big horizontal. That's great. Okay, now we are pushing into our retest zone. So Whiff looking a little bit interesting here for me. And I do like this little juicy zone. So let's just be patient. We are drifting into zone number 1. Okay, this is our first area, 1.75, looking for that type of move. And then our next big zone here is going to be this 382 that I've got my eyes on. So 2 nice little areas here for Whiff. And I'm going to be adding to my spots here anything in this box while we drift down. So anything down to about 1.6 even for me, looking nice and juicy. And then we do have this backup region. We do have this 1.5. Okay, we know that that's a hot zone. The 1.5, we know it's a massive zone for me. But again, we can't predict or confirm for sure that it's going to go down to this 1.5. But what we can do is work on big levels in front of us. And level number 1, 1.75, level number 1, level number 2, 1.6. Okay, watching these areas here, for me, that's good enough for me for some spot buys here. And we're going to send this one higher. The target, very simple play. We're looking at the 200-day moving average, 24% move to that 618 as well. And then a little bit higher up, we do have the 100-day MA. That's going to give us about a 40% move on Whiff. So simple game plan here for me on Whiff. And remember, guys, these are not high leverage trades. Okay, if you're going to take high leverage positions here, you're going to put yourself under pressure. Okay, so what I suggest here is watch these areas. High leverage traders, you dialing in to the 15 minutes, you waiting for these trend breaks and things like that. You're going to really be picky with your levels. Spot traders, you know, what's happened here is you said, I've missed the bounce. What do I do? When do I buy? Well, here's your zone. Anything from this 1.75 level down to 1.6. That looks like a nice little juicy region there for me. And then Injective teed this one up. So guys, we passed, hopefully some of you took Injective with me yesterday, and we got through that Bitfunded challenge number 1 with the Injective trade. So I'm going to show you that now. And here is Injective moving into our first little bullish zone of interest. So you can see what I've done here. I've pulled that fib from the low to the high, and now I'm saying, where is my next reset zone? Where do I get my next buy for Injective if I'm going to stay bullish? You can see I've got some nice little targets set up here. So what I'm looking for, simple little move here on Injective, something like this into the 16.65 region, number 1. That would be beautiful for me if we can get that. So 16.65, look at that, nice horizontal. And we've got 382 fibbage there for you guys as well. So 16.65. If we do start drifting a little bit lower, look out for that wick and that little bump into 15.54. So my entry box for me, 16.65, anything down to 15.45. Anywhere in that little zone there for me is a nice little spot buy zone. And we're looking at some interesting targets. I would say the first target needs to be your highs. Okay, that's a 10% move at 18. Your next target is going to be a 30% move, that's 21.6. And then your upside target, the 100-day moving average, is a 42% move at 23.5. Okay, so these are your areas of interest. If you start losing, for example, if we start closing under the 618 fib, okay, if we start closing under this region, okay, let's say we get candle closes under this region, they could be trying to send us a little bit lower down. Okay, if we start closing under the 618 region, this market is bad. Okay, the market is not looking very good. Okay, we're going to have Bitcoin losing some big levels there as well. And that's why protect yourselves at all times with a stop loss and things like that. So for me, great buys down to 15.45. If we start closing under that region, by the time we do, we'll be on live on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, wherever it is, and we'll be dealing with it. So don't stress too much, but just protect yourselves. Take a photo of this chart and just make sure you know what is what. And then again, what you can do is bang out 15-minute candles, bang out some trends, and you can start watching these things if they are going to take off without you. Okay, so here's Injective, for example, and you can see what I've done here. I've just made a smaller version in 15 minutes as to what you have seen there on the daily chart. So let's just take a look at what is going on here. And you can see Injective currently riding a little trend. Okay, so keep your eyes on this at the moment. And, you could get a potential bounce here on Injective. And if we do start losing this rising trend, that is going to start telling us that we are potentially going to start locking in those entries lower down. Okay, so let's just go back to this. If we do lose that little trend you've just seen on the 15 minutes, that is most likely going to be your ticket to that 16.6 and to that 15.4. Okay, so just bang out that trend. You can see if we start losing that trend, then it's on. Okay, then you need to start getting ready. You need to start getting prepped to start buying in those regions that I've just given you. Okay, so you can just bang out this trend. Keep your eyes on this thing. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so here we go. Little double top here on the 15 minutes. Keep your eyes on that. So 17.7, I would watch that now as a potential resistance zone for you on the 15 minutes. If we start losing that trend, just keep an eye on this thing this weekend, and then we're going to be looking for our levels in that nice little juicy zone. Okay, 16.6 to 15.45. Okay, nice little area there. And then you can see I've smashed this bit-funded challenge now. Yesterday, it was a simple trade. We just took that injective long. We had the break on the 8-hour, and we had that trend break on the 15-minute candles that I took you guys through. And now looking okay. So we've got our $833 that we needed to make. You can see, but Bitfunded wants you to trade 5 days. So what I've done here is I've just opened a nominal BTC trade. I literally opened a $50 or $60 Bitcoin trade. So I just want to now get through the days. Okay, I've made the 800 they wanted me to make. Now we're just going to get through the days there so we can start phase 2. Now, for those of you that don't know what Bitfunded is, basically it's a way that you can trade with other people's money. So you don't have to use your capital now, and you can use their capital. Okay, but what you need to do is you send them $49 or $99. They're going to give you a demo account. Then you need to make 8% for challenge 1, you make 5% for challenge 2, then they give you real money. If you paid them $49, they're going to give you a $5,000 trading account with real money. Okay, and you can keep 80 to 90% of those profits, whatever you make trading. And if you burn that account or you lose that account, your only loss is $49. Instead of trying to leverage your $1,000 5x or your $1,000 10x, you can literally then lose all that money. Okay, so now your risk is $49, and they're going to give you a trading account. So Bitfunded, there is a link in the description. You know what to do by now if you've watched the show. There they are, 5th or 6th from the top. You click on the first link, you sign up to Bitfunded. Then you have to go back and you click on Bitfunded Dylan over here, and that's going to give you access to the $49 and the $99 challenge. And then you can get stuck in, show them that you can trade 8%, 5%. There's your challenges, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 is the live account. And then you're off, then you're alive and kicking. And yeah, you can see we've smashed that profit target. So just letting the days play on for us. Okay, the next one that I need in my bags urgently, 𝗬𝗏. Okay, and you can see what's going on here. This is BTC on the daily, and nice little trend rejection, so no surprises there. And if you were long, you would have seen this makes perfect sense. Trend rejection, 100-day MA rejection, so nice, perfect little move back. Now we are looking for buys. BTC 260 to 220, anywhere in this box for me it's a spot buy zone. It's a bull zone. It's a zone where you're going to get your second bite. If this market's going to turn bullish, you might get one more chance. Okay, and for me that could be the 382 or the 618 fib region, and that is 260 to 222. That is what you guys are watching for, 260 to 222. Nice little hot zone here. If you get that, for me, that's a buy. That's an opportunity. And the potential trade that I'm looking at here, I'm not going to sit in this thing and try and ride this 180%. I'm looking for the 200-day moving average. That's a 70% move. Let it push up to that level. Once we get there, we take profits, we sit back, and we let the market do what it needs to do. And remember, there'll always be more entries later on. Okay, so we don't have to hold on to these things forever. And we're just looking for some nice banging trades here and some nice banging areas. Another one for me is Rune. This is a huge one. And you know what? I don't think you can get enough Rune. Okay, so right now for me, you can see Rune ping these lows at 2.56. Big level there, but right now we are moving into a juicy little region. So anything for me from 3 to 3.07 to 2.86, looking for buys here on Rune. Nice little juicy zone here. Anywhere in this region over here, we're looking for that bullish push. And again, we're not looking for massive moves here. We're not trying to break records. We just want to make 25-30% here on our potential spot bags, and that would be a perfect little move into trend and 50-day moving average. So again, not asking for much. We're not trying to look for anything unreasonable here. We just want to push this into trend, into horizontal, into the 50-day MA, where we know that if you've been watching this show long enough, you're going to get a rejection there. Okay, 3.9. We all know that, okay? Once we bang this 3.9, then we're going to be looking for new entries after that, okay? If we start blowing that level, well, then you know the drill. You're going to have the 50-day MA as support, and we're going to start cooking up to the 200-day MA. But right now, target number one, let's just get to 3.9 with Rune. Let's get a nice bullish buy in here. 3.9 is where it's at for me. We'll deal with the rest later if the market is going to give us more. Okay, another one for me is a must-have. Okay, this is Render as well, and teed up my little entry zone, 4.47 down to 4.07. Okay, so watch this now this weekend. If we do get this meltdown here, this is what we're looking for. Anyway, 4.47 down to 4.07. Great little area here for us. And the target zone, simple play. We've got trend and horizontal in the way, and we've got a 50-day MA in the way. So target number one, 5.89. Target number two, 6.4. The type of move I'm looking for, 42% on Render. That's a risk reward here of about 3.8. Okay, so we're not looking for anything too big here, too bullish. We just want to make 25 to 30% here, even 40% if they can push that for us. And then we reassess. Okay, we get out, and most likely big rejections in these type of areas. And then we jump out and we reassess where we are. Guys, I haven't even spoken to my people here in the chats. What is going on? I'm right at the start of the chats here. I see Glenn Goldberg. He's always here. What's happening, Glenn? Good to have you here. Joshua wants me at president. I don't know if I'll be a good president. I'll be looking at charts all day. It will be a problem. You know, they're going to want me to make decisions on economic policy, but I'm dealing with leveraged economic policy here on some of my trading apps here. And Glenn says, where there's blood, there's money to be made. And 𝗬𝗓𝗘, always a big fan here. He says, be bullish on the likes. And Bruce is here in the back. And Mag says, Dylan must spend hours planning the show. Guys, I actually do. I spend a lot of time, but it starts with Sniper Club. Okay, so during the day, what I do know is I give Sniper Club 25 to 30 charts every day. I give them a market update. I give them a sentiment check. I tell them what I'm thinking for the day. I tell them where I'm going. And that preparation starts the minute I get to the office. I listen to the research call with Banter, then I start working on all the charts and things like that. Then I start dropping them in Sniper Club for all the Sniper Club members. And then, by then we have a picture of the market, and then we get cracking on some of these charts. So that is quite simply how we do things. And I also have an amazing researcher that I work with that sorts me out during the day too and keeps me posted. And we work together on those type of things. Who else we got here? Let's see. What else? Timeout says Ondo on the 1 hour. Ooh, Ondo. I mean, I'm in an Ondo long here. Let's just pull this up here. What's going on with Ondo on the 1 hour? See, we're under a bit of pressure here on Ondo on the 1 hour. But XRP, I just want to send this to zero, Ray. I mean, I just this must go down. It must go down. It must go straight down. Okay, but we'll keep watching. Let's see. Andre says, how's 𝗚𝗦 looking, guys? We must check 𝗚𝗦. If we've lost that 382, we're going to be looking at that 618 next. Venator says, are you still shorting PopCat? Indeed, I am. Okay, there's my whiff short, and I've got a PopCat short running. Okay, so yeah, we are still shorting them, and I'm going to give you that PopCat chart because that is another one that we're going to be talking about. What else we got here? George says Happy Women's Day. Now I don't know if is this an international day? Happy Women's Day, ladies. If it is an international day, well, there you go. Hopefully your husbands and boyfriends and things are looking after you, and but take the ladies out for a bit of a date, boys, and do some things. Okay, let's get into some more charts. Let's get into these charts. Okay, Tower we've covered. Rune we've covered. Must have Rune. Okay, Render we've covered. Lovely banger. Okay, Sui. Now everyone's pumped on Sui, and Steven says my ton trade looks like it might be ready to turn over. Let's see. I did have some ton prep for you at some point. I'm just checking. I was looking at ton. So just go back to that comment there, Ray. I see. I don't have the ton chart. I was looking at it couple of minutes ago. Okay, TON chart is at resistance. It's at trend resistance and things like that. It is a potential rejection zone. So just be cautious up there, Stephen. You are at a resistance area on TON. I was looking at it a couple of minutes ago. Okay, 𝗟𝗚𝗚𝗚 talking about 𝗬𝗎. So 𝗬𝗎 is now back in the game. Okay, now if he's talking about it, 379,000 views. Now, no wonder 𝗬𝗎 pumped. Okay, number one. So 𝗬𝗎, nice little pumpage. Let's look at the current 𝗬𝗎 situation. And we know now there's a lot of backing on it. I think Uncle likes this one too. And, 𝗬𝗎 on the daily, we've got a trend break. So that is looking okay. And right now, 𝗬𝗎 is sitting at a resistance zone. So what I was saying to the Sniper Club guys earlier today, there's a possibility here that 𝗬𝗎 is going to fall over. Okay, but not bad. We're just looking for some kind of bullish entry. So what I was suggesting to Sniper Club guys earlier today was some kind of push into this 100-day MA and then that rejection. Okay, so we're looking at 0.72 as a potential buy zone here for 𝗬𝗎. For me, that makes the most sense for me right now. So we've had a nice pump. Okay, nice and bullish. We know 𝗟𝗚𝗚𝗚 was talking about it. So that obviously means thousands of people are going to be buying 𝗬𝗎. That results in the 𝗬𝗎 pump. Now, what happens when he stops talking about it? Okay, we might just get some regular type of pullback here on 𝗬𝗎. So what I would suggest here, 𝗬𝗎 traders, if you're looking for action here on 𝗬𝗎, 0.72 to 0.62. Okay, this is a buy zone for me anywhere in this little area. And you can't be blamed for trying to short this thing like I am at the moment. And we did it on Sniper Club today. We had a live Sniper Club session and we were looking at various short options for potential pullback. And we had a couple of long options as well. And 𝗬𝗎 is one of them. So I'm busy shorting this one on 𝗬𝗥 at the moment. Let's see how that is going to play out. But you can see naturally this thing is at a resistance band. And if the market is going to turn over, I would expect 𝗬𝗎 to run out of steam here and start falling over and pushing this 0.72 region. So for me as a spot buyer, I'm not ready to buy it up here. Okay, it's at resistance and I want to see some kind of pullback. Now, what happens if the market just rips? Okay, that's another question you can ask yourself. What happens if the market just absolutely explodes? Well, what I would suggest here again is when you want to buy something, okay, and this is applicable to all tokens, okay, at some point we do get these pullbacks. So all you need to do, okay, is not panic, number one. But then you just keep dragging your fib up, your fib up, your fib up all the way till you get to the high, okay, till you get to the rejection zone. Okay, so you just keep tracking your fib up because at some point, you can backtest this a million times. At some point, these things all fall over, okay, and you get a horribly red day and you start hitting these type of zones, okay? So don't think these zones aren't coming back. So all I can say is be patient, be picky with your spot buys, okay? Leverage traders, that's a different thing. We can trade these trend breaks. We can trade these little bounces off these good zones and things like that. Spot traders, just be patient, okay? At some point, these things come back. We get these massive drawdowns. And don't forget, if market's super bullish, they'll come and flush you 20% in one day, okay? Just be ready for those entries. Just be ready for those types of levels. And all you can do, all you need to do is just drag your fibs up, okay? Just be patient, just be patient, just be patient. And then eventually you get that pullback. You can backtest this all over the place. You can see these types of pullbacks. I mean, here's just an example on 𝗬𝗎. And I mean, what did we do? Look here, we had a dip here. We had a pump to the highs. And what did they do here? They dropped this thing down to just front ran that 618 there. But look at the size of this drawdown, okay? 28.31%. Okay, so just remember, this comes, okay? We were super bullish here when this was happening. This was from January all the way up to about March, okay? And even in this example, we had our lows. Look at this. We had our lows over here, and they basically came and sent you to hell. Okay, so just remember, they will come and flush this thing at some point, and just wait. Just be patient. So just drag those fibs up, and you're gonna get your entries there at the right areas. It's just a matter of patience. I know sometimes it's very difficult to be patient. So that also perhaps makes sense. Then maybe you want a DCA in some positions. If you've got itchy trigger fingers and you feel like you need to do something, don't shoot the whole clip. Okay, wait for these red days. The best days are the red days when you can be buying. Okay, and here's 𝗟𝗚𝗚𝗚, another banger for me. It's got to be in my portfolio here. And 𝗟𝗚𝗚𝗚, look at this. We've broken nice horizontals here, and now we are coming back to a hot zone. So for me, 𝗟𝗚𝗚𝗚 entries 20.3 to 18.7. That's a buy zone. Okay, any moves for 𝗪𝗡 into that zone, looking for this juicy little area here. And again, not asking much, just like I've given you on all these other altcoins. And we are looking for the 50-day MA. We are looking for trends. We are looking for the 200-day MA. This is a 31% move I'm looking for here, up to about a 42% move. We're not being greedy. We're pushing it to this trend. Anything can happen at that trend. That's where we're going to take profit. That's where we're going to reassess. Now, remember, by the time this happens, we would have probably spoken about these coins 10 more times. Okay, so we'll be well prepared for these areas and these types of zones, and we will deal with it accordingly. Big things will happen once we do pop these areas, okay, because we will have 50-day MA support. We will have 200-day MA support and things like that to work from. But we'll deal with that later. Okay, right now, we want to focus on some juicy entries here. 20.3, 18.7, anywhere in that region looks nice. Looks nice for me. Okay, 𝗏, another one for me, feels like a must-have. Okay, 𝗏 is just, there's too much bullish or too many bullish things going on here for me on 𝗏, and I've prepped this one for you. 0.1544. This is the plan I've given in to Sniper Club, and the traders, they've got this plan here. We are looking for anything in this region here for me. So that is unchanged. Massive support here, zone for me, 0.143. 0.143. Big area here for me for 𝗏. And the target, we want to target the highs. Naturally, 𝗏, you know, there's lots of bullish things around 𝗏 here, but I'm looking for about a 30% move now on this next bounce. And, you know, this makes sense to me. If we get this push up, you can see we've got that trend there, and we could get some kind of rejection later on. Okay, so all we want to do is just trade these things to big resistance zones and big areas of interest there. We want to take profit. And then we want to chill, okay? We're going to enjoy the wins and we're going to enjoy the victories. And we can protect ourselves if we start losing big areas. Now, remember, 𝗏 has got a big area here, 200-day moving average. We've got horizontals tied in. We've got a 618 as well. So if we start closing under that zone, it tells us we better look out, okay? It tells us watch out for your next level, okay? But for me, bullish, 382 bounce, 618 bounce, bullish. And Lord Drake's, there's KRC20 limited test this weekend. Okay, so you saw I'm in a couple of shorts at the moment. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and 𝗬𝗢, I'm trading these on ZoomX, also KYC friendly exchange. And just to go back to 𝗏𝗏𝗏, why this was interesting to me, number one, DJ David in Sniper Club dropped a 𝗏𝗏𝗏 setup that he was interested in for a short, and then I took a look at it as well, and there were multiple levels of confluence here as to why I wanted to test this area. Number one was 𝗬𝗟𝗔𝗥𝗚 giving me a very tight monthly pivot. Look at this red, very thick monthly pivot here, and that tells us this is a reaction zone, this is a resistance zone, and you can see what happens here on the monthly pivot. We've pushed into it twice and we've rejected twice. Okay, so that is interesting to me. We know 𝗏𝗏𝗏's super bullish. We know 𝗏𝗏𝗏's going to be an absolute ripper. Okay, but right now we need to identify where we get resistance zones, where we need a TP, where we need to just cool down if we are looking for buys. So again, let's look at 𝗏𝗏𝗏 as a potential pullback zone. Now we know this thing is super bullish. We know how this thing trades, and this is again a spot situation here for you guys. And if you want to trade high leverage, you know the drill. You're going smaller time frames here. You're going to bang out some of these trend breaks, and you're really going to focus when we start drifting into these zones. You're going to bang out the smaller time frames. You're going to look for structure in these areas, and then you're going to look for those type of breaks here. So that is what you're going to be watching, you know, these type of trend breaks and things like that on these zones. If you're buying spot, for me, it's anywhere in one of these bullish areas that you're going to be looking. So 0.5, anything from 0.52 down to 0.51, and then deep into 0.41. For me, anywhere in this region is going to be your entry ticket for a nice little 𝗏𝗏𝗏 move. So let this thing just drift down into that zone, and then we're looking for bigger things. We're looking to push into the highs. What is the size of that move? Now, the interesting thing about these meme coins is they are so volatile. Okay, look at this move. If we send 𝗏𝗏𝗏 to the highs, it's 83 to 92% move. Okay, so that's why we got to be a bit greedy with our entries here. Let this thing drift into a nice little zone, and then we're looking for a 92% bounce on 𝗏𝗏𝗏. So that could be a nice little play there, especially a little spot ticket here if we get it on a nice bullish zone. So, you know, for me, if Bitcoin holds levels and things like that, these alts are going to hold their bullish zones, okay, in spite of a little pullback we might get, and then we want to send this thing. So look out, 52 down to 42, anywhere in that region, laddering into that zone. That is amazing little area for me. If you are sitting in a short on 𝗏𝗏𝗏, well, you can see the high. Okay, the high is where you need to be careful. That is 60 0.6, call it 0.68. Okay, look out over there. And if you're trying to short it, yeah, I mean, Bird in the Bush says try to short Popcat twice. It's very volatile. Okay, when you get it right, it drops 30% or 40% quickly and you make quick money. But sometimes you have to have a couple of goes and you have to leave a lot of space with your stops. Okay, so you can see my current stop loss now on Popcat. I'm trading this one on ZoomX. And my current stop loss here is at this trend. Okay, my current stop is at 64. So I've just slowly moved this thing down as this thing drifts a little bit lower, because we know how volatile this thing is. It can just absolutely pump and then start falling over again and things like that. So if your stop's too tight, you can probably just get stopped out a couple of times. So that is what I'm watching. My stop loss is at 64. Okay, if they come and stop me out there, then we leave it. Okay, we wait. And we see how it plays out. Okay, we don't want to be over trading too much here. And then XRP, I just want to give you guys a rundown. So XRP, as you can see, I'm still short in XRP. It was a challenge. Okay, it was a challenge because yesterday they gave us a little fake out. Look at this. They gave us a big fake out on XRP. We traded that break just after the show. I think, Ray, we jumped into that one and we traded that break and they absolutely round tripped me. So the minute we got that break, just another reminder for you guys, when you get a trend break, just bang your stop under that breakout candle and, make sure you are protected, because if they do come and they turn this thing around, you don't want to end up losing money after trading a nice little breakout. So you can see what happened there. They had a fake little breakout. Where did they reject? At the horizontal. Okay, double top here. Look at that. Bang. Double top for XRP. I love this little rejection. And now we are in a clear little downtrend for XRP. So there's no reason for me to exit the short just yet. Okay, we're just tracking this thing on this downtrend. You can see we are sending this down and we're going to just monitor this accordingly. So we might get another move into that region, and then I'm just looking for this downtrend to continue roundabout to 52. But if things start turning a little bit aggressive, we might just get a situation like that and it breaks the trend and starts kicking on. So right now for XRP, no changes for me. There is a degree of support here, 56. Okay, so look out, 56 could give you a bounce, but I do love this. Okay, this candle makes me quite happy. Okay, I think if we start pushing lower here, that should get taken out, and then we can retest ourselves at about 52. So waiting patiently for that move there, and let's see how this thing plays out. And then one more, guys, Ray's favorite token. It's back in the news. Okay, is it time? Is it time, bro? Maybe it's time. Imagine the scenario.
Show me the fibs, man.
Yeah, we revenge trade Celestia and we make like 100% on 10x. Okay, think about it. Okay, let's think about this. Okay,
20x you're talking.
Yeah, we're gonna make if we get a 10% move on Celestia on 10x leverage. Okay, if we get the entry right, we revenge trade this thing. Okay, Celestia. First upgrade, lemongrass. Okay, fundamental guys who love Celestia, you must be euphoric. Okay, something is going on here with Celestia. But anyway, there's some pumpies going on here for Celestia. So I thought, let's drop this one here. Okay, I'm gonna try and leverage trade the Celestia. Okay, so bigger picture. I mean, Ray, wouldn't it be beautiful if we got a 10x or 20x on Celestia and we pumped it and we pumped it? I think it would be beautiful. So here's the deal.
That looks really good. That looks like a great chart.
Okay, so Celestia does look bullish. Okay, from this perspective, we got a nice double bottom on the daily. Okay, credit's where it's due. Okay, and what else have we got? We can see it's pushing into a resistance band. Okay, typically like a lot of these altcoins we're looking at right now, resistance area. We understand that. Okay, so it actually looks a bit like Sui, believe it or not. Now, I remember these two little bastards ran together not too long ago. I think it was Sui and Say and Celestia. They were all running.
And Injective.
Okay. So it's notable. Injective's broken trend. Sui's looking good. Celestia.
Is Cosmos looking good? If Cosmos is looking good,
I haven't looked. They all Cosmos plays, right?
Yes.
So potentially, guys, just note Celestia. Okay, we are allowed to be wrong. Okay. We hated Celestia for so long, but if we make money out of it, we love it again. Okay, we'll keep it simple. Keep it simple like that. And okay, so Celestia, I think there's a move coming. Okay, so what do we got? Okay, we got our upside target. We know 49%. That is what we're going to look for, and that's the 100-day moving average. How do we get an entry on this thing? Okay, the ultimate shit coin how do we get an entry here? Okay, 5.14. This is like your realistic zones. Now I'm gonna zoom in for you guys just now. Okay, if we get a market meltdown here, 5.1, 4.6. Okay, 5.1, 4.6. Okay, anywhere in that region, 5.1, 4.6. That is what we're looking for. Spot buyers. Okay, now, okay, let's go degen here. Let's see if we can do something here. Okay, we're going to go into the 15 minutes here. Let's see what they're brewing here. What are these guys cooking? What are they cooking up? That looks like whales just selling. Eh? That looks like a little bit of distribution there, right? I mean, where have we seen that? Hello. Have we seen this before?
Are you watching the Simpsons?
What does he say?
What's going on?
What does he say? What does he say, Bart? Well, you know what I'm doing. So, guys, if you don't know, this is called the Bart pattern. Okay, so what do? They send it up. They take all their stuff. That's Bart's head. And then they send it down. What does he always say? What did he say? Anyway, you know what he says.
Eat my shorts. Well, profit off of that short.
Correct. Okay, he says
shorts on that short.
Okay, but that let's not digress. We're not watching The Simpsons here. We're watching Celestia. Okay, let's see what we got here on the 15 minutes. Let's see if we can get a degen sort of set up here. And let's just see what they can get us, because maybe we can revenge trade this thing and get some action here. Okay, so Celestia, you can see why it's struggling now at resistance. This is just a big juicy band all over the place. This whole little region here is a problem zone for us on Celestia. Okay, let's zoom in here. Okay, we've got our big support band down here. Here we go. Okay, so this does look like one of these Bart situations. Okay, but we have seen in bullish conditions. Okay, we've often seen this in bullish conditions. Bang, and they come and do it again. Okay, they give you the same situation before they end it down again. Okay, so that is on the table as well. So leverage traders, if you're looking for some action, okay, what I would suggest here for you guys, look for this dip into this zone here. Okay, look for this fake out here. Look for the stop hunt. Okay, look for that. Okay, so don't be fooled. If they come down here, look for a little stop hunt in this zone on the 15 minutes. Then try and snag your entry here. So you're typically going to see some kind of pin bar candle. So they're going to dip it down and they're going to zip it back up quite quickly. And then your candle looks something like this. It's got a very tight, very thin little wick. Okay, then you can bang your stop under that, because once they've cleared out those the stop there, then they pump this thing up. Then you've got your marker. Then you put your stop under this candle over there. Okay, then that could give you a ticket. Then your next trick, okay, is going to be when you start popping these highs. Okay, when you pop these highs, let it pop. Okay, when we get that little pullback, you're going to add to your position there. Okay, you're going to add over here when you get that pullback. Okay, and that could be your ticket to glory. Okay, on Celestia, and take you higher. Okay, if this doesn't play out, okay, if they start bleeding you lower, we know they're coming back to our juicy entry zone. And it's as simple as that. Okay? Simple as that. Do you agree, kind sir?
I do agree. I'm
good. Ray agrees. Now, guys, it's Friday. Okay? It's the weekend. Take it easy out there. You've got these set up. If we get red this weekend, we get the pullback this weekend, these are the entries I'm taking. This is what I'm looking for. Okay? I'm doing a show on Sunday. We're going to update you guys on where we are and whatever's going on. So make sure you tune in on Sunday, and we're going to cover it. I mean, hopefully we've had the pullback. Then we can get cracking on some of these things. If the market is pumped, okay, everyone just stay calm. We're going to raise these fibs. We're going to wait for this pullback. At some point, these alts come back to those 382s. Okay, let's not get caught up in FOMO. Can I help you?
Can we give them bread? Can we just give them
You want to give them bread?
Yes, they're begging for it.
Let's go.
It's Friday. It's Friday. Let's give it to them.
Let's go bread.
They gave us likes. Thanks, guys.
You give us likes, we give you Brett. Simple game plan. You see, nice little rejection here on Brett. Okay, so just like all these other alts, looking good here. Okay, so Brett on the daily. Okay, let's just look. Let's just get a little picture as to what is happening here. Long way to go before trend. Let's look at some horizontals. Look at that. Okay, nice little horizontal band, typical rejection zone, typical resistance area. Okay, also looking good over there. So what do we know? We know that Brett is primed to fall over here. Okay, we know that it's primed to come a little bit lower. Okay, so we're looking for that. And very, very similar principle to all of these things that we are doing. We are now looking for potential bullish zones. So we know if we look at this on the daily chart, we know where are our big levels. Number one, 107. Number two, 0.7. Okay, so we know we've got that range, we've got that area. Okay, if things are going to remain bullish, you typically get some kind of bullish bounce in the market. Okay, you're typically going to get a bounce on one of these hot zones here, and that could be your entry into the next range, okay, the next region that we are looking for. So the simplest way to do that is to, again, dial in or do exactly what I've done there with some of these other charts, and you want to identify potential pullback zones for these things. Because if they're going to remain bullish, you're typically going to get a 382 bounce or a 618 bounce. I mean, you can see what we've had here. We've had a 382 bounce there, okay, on Brett already. Now we take it to the new high and we look for our next potential zone. Okay, so here we go. 88. So 88 for Brett. Look for that. Any push down into that region there looks nice. So let this thing do this. Okay, 88. Okay. So your next trade for me is lower down on Brett, or if this thing absolutely rips, it's higher up. Okay, it's higher up on that pullback. So right now, no man's land here for, high conviction plays. You're waiting for higher or you're waiting for lower. Okay, 0.88. And then look at this nice little zone down here, 0.76. That's also a nice little area. Anywhere into that 76 region there for me. Still looking okay. That's a higher low. Okay, so things are looking fine as long as we are getting those type of things. Okay, guys, that's it. Okay, if you want some action, hang out with us in Sniper Club. I did a live session earlier today, and we really focused on how to look for shorts, how to plan the shorts, all those type of things. We spent a lot of time on it, and we had a good little session there today. And I do Sniper Club live sessions Wednesday, Friday, Sunday nights as well after the main show. So if you want some of that action, come and hang with us in Sniper Club. Obviously, we have a massive team in there. We've got tons going on there. So if you want a piece of that, come and hang out. There's a link in the description for you. Other than that, happy Women's Day. See you on Friday. Sunday.